Hello, it's Lara Joe. We're gonna do some tarot. Come on in, take a seat, chat it up. Alright. Let's see. Alright. Empress, that fertile, abundant energy. Taurus, grounded, right? Nurturing. We are able to fulfill all our needs. It's like fertility, right? We're trying to create, which right now, that is truly what we need to be doing. Creating from our sacral space, which is our sacred energy. King of Wands, it is that passion, that fire, that mana. It's, okay. So King of Wands, we're trying to step into that empowered state, or we're we're bringing in a King of Wands actually potentially to our counterpart. I always like to read tarot. Okay, well, it is lovers, so I guess that goes out the window. So Gemini, we have Taurus, Gemini, we also have King of Wands. So this is bringing in that passion and your counterpart energy. Realizing though, your partnerships do have to be reciprocal, so make sure that you are keeping it balanced, right? Okay, Queen of Cups, nurturing that emotion. I love all that water energy that's coming out all over the place. Emotional. We're embodying like what it is we truly want. We fill our cup first. That's where we get it wrong, right? We have to fill our cup before we can fill anyone else's cup. So you have to make sure you're good. So it's that concept of putting on your oxygen mask before you put on anyone else's for them, right? You have to make sure you're stable before you can stabilize others. It's the same concept like working in the medical field. Like they have to make sure that the situation is safe for the responders before they can actually save someone, because it's like you can't put yourself in danger. Okay? So the world is a vampire. Is it not? Sucking out all your energy. Okay, so the world is saying we're going to close those chapters that are no longer for us. We're going to say, okay, that's done here, right? If we've been around this block, we need to say, okay, I don't need to keep spinning it. So realizing with the world, I have to put my emotions ahead of anyone else's, because at the end of the day, like we're all, and I hate to say it like this, we're all self-centered, right? We all have to make sure that we survive. You cannot pour and pour and pour and pour and make sure everyone else survives without you surviving, okay? So, Queen of Cups, the world, asking you to close out those chapters that felt draining. This is going to require solitude. Hermit is Virgo energy. It's stable, it's grounded. It says, regardless of whether anyone else shows up to the party or not, I'm good. Right? So Hermit is asking you to go within and carry the light for yourself before you go without. Okay? So, I love it. It's nurturing. It's self-sustaining. If anybody knows it, Virgo, it's like they are slow, methodical, and they're very slow to move, but that's because they've thought it out through and through. King of Pentacles, yes. So with that confirmation, Earth energy, it's saying, no, I'm going to make sure that my castle is good before I build others' castles. Hello, guys. If you're coming in, I'm Lara Joe. We're doing Siren's Song Lover. We're doing collective energy reads, tarot. So come on in. Interaction is key. If you want a message, interact, please. Hey, Druvy. I am not good. I need miracles, huge miracles. So please pray for me. Please pray. Send all that love. Send all that energy. Please interact. Hype me up. Whatever. I need to get my name, my face far and wide so I need miracles, right? Hanged Man. Changing our perspective. Although we are the miracles, so I don't, that's okay. With the Hermit card coming out right before that, it's like we have to make sure that we're good before we check, So change perspective. Hangman saying, okay, let go. And I've had to do a lot of that. Like I've done a lot of kicking, screaming, bargaining, reasoning. If my eyes look a certain way, it's because I had such a horrible migraine and bawled my freaking eyes out because of news that I received. There are like two separate events that just completely were not good and devastating. One having to do with my children and my family, and then one having to do with my home, my structure. Like, I'm in danger of losing my structure. So if anybody knows anybody that wants to give a large amount of money away to help save a house, please let me know. Please send them my way. Anything. Ace of Pentacles wanted to flip out too, right? And the worst thing you can do is ask, right? And people can say no. Yet. Yeah. All right. Four of Cups, feeling lonely, feeling left out, right? This is that everybody else has their cup filled. Now, I definitely know how this feels because I'm watching everybody else eat fat and good while I'm sitting over here like about to lose my house, and I have 7 animals that depend on me to save this house. Okay, so Patricia with Michael, it's feeling left out in the cold. But here's what I want you to notice, though. If someone truly wants to call you, they will, right? When we want someone or something, we move heaven and hell. So I want you, instead of asking, will Michael reach out? I want you to look at it like, go live your best life. And if he reaches out, cool. If he doesn't, well, he missed out on a cool adventure. So Four of Cups is saying, if I feel left out, if I feel emotionally like I'm not getting my cup filled by anyone other than the divine, we have to move on. So, Chin, are you, do you think he's in peril, like he needs to be checked out on? Or are you wanting to know, like, if you should just put the feelers out there? Because that's a different story. All right. For Jamar reaching out, no. And that was the thing with this is no. So these people, like, this isn't to be sassy, but no, they're not reaching out. But that is the answer in itself. You have to get out of your head. 9 of Swords is getting out of your head. Because 4 of Cups, if they left you feeling like they were out partying while you were at home crying, that's not the person for you. Right? If you have to check their phone, or if you have to question everywhere that they are, that's not where we want to be, is staying up at night over someone that can't be bothered to fill our cup. So, and let them go. Let them go. Let them be someone else's headache. Because from experience, right? I'm kind of a bit older. Those people that I used to cry and lament over, I look back now, like I'll have an interaction or I'll see them or something down the road, and I'm like, oh, I dodged a bullet not getting entrapped with that one. It also is one of those, now that I see it, when I'm like, I look at my ex and I was like, I don't know what happened. I should have left a long time ago. Like, the red flags, he was really good at hiding those red flags, and everybody was really good about saying, like, no, he's a good one, right? So that is the challenge too. I love how men say do better, but it's like you faked your whole personality to get a woman and then changed up and then wondered why. Yeah. Okay, so getting out of the head, right? 9 of Swords, 4 of Cups, saying if they left me feeling high and dry or emotionally bereft, left out, I'm going to say no and keep going, right? Your time, your energy is worth people being interested in. If they're not interested, they're not your people. Katya, so you kind of were in with all the ones that said no. So what I would do with, if he's going to, I mean, because you can't force one way or the other if they're going to text you. So instead of, rest, breathe, drink water, meditate, because we can't control others outside of us. I hope that answers your question. Right? Instead of needing him to call you or her, whichever it is. I don't mean to assume, and I'm sorry if I did. Go focus on what you can control, right? I had to do that. I had to give that advice to someone I love very dearly, where I was like, hey, if you're so worried about if they're going to text you or call you and you're glued to your phone to see, I'm like, I need you to go paint your toenails, because you're only single, or you're only at this point, at this moment. So that is like, if you are super stressed or waiting for communication and it's not coming through, you can't force it to, right? You can't even will it to. You can go do something that you enjoy to do, though, right? Even if it's for 30 seconds. And guys, I am so sorry if my eyes look I cried my eyes out yesterday and I had a huge migraine. I woke up this morning with my eyes almost swollen shut because of how shitty yesterday was. So Okay, so Hermit in the world. We're closing out the chapters, but we have to go within, right? So this is I love saying this with Hermit. We go within. No, because I don't have resolutions. So if you know someone who has large amounts of money that wants to donate to me, that would definitely make me feel better, because I need to be able to provide a safe shelter, and in order to do that, I need the fundage, and that's been the challenge. So I'll feel better when I have the money, right? And we have to put it out to the universe. If I don't ask for a sugar daddy or a large amount of money, it won't come to me. So might as well start asking, right? The Hermit in the world is saying we have to go within so we don't go without. And the world is saying close out those chapters, right? You have to say, if I didn't feel great in this situation, I'm not going to keep going there. Unknown, ask. We'll see. It depends. It depends. Yes, you can ask, but I may give you like a advice type answer versus a tarot type answer. I give life advice. I really do. Like, I have a ton of life experience. I worked in the medical field. I've been raising kids since I was 15 years old. Like, I've been there, done that, seen more bodily fluids than you ever care to admit. Know how to kind of process of elimination, diagnose like people's ailments. It's like a thing. So sometimes you do get life advice, like loving life advice, whether it's through my experience or through the experience of all the lives I've been a part of, right? Gianna, I'm actually going to go with this one. Okay. So no, it feels intuitively like there's something else distracting, and that's the part. If they can be distracted, they're not for you. What comes out with it is Scorpio, and that's death energy, right? It's saying, okay, I have to let this go. And we are hella in Scorpio season. And if you know anything about Scorpios, it's like, you know what? They go full, like, there's no coming back. Just let them go, right? Don't ride the dead horse into town. Don't beat the dead horse. Like, if they don't love you, that's not a failing in your part, because a lot of these, when you look at them, it's not that they don't love you. They don't love themselves enough, right? Because if they truly love themselves, they wouldn't treat someone that they care about poorly, because that person that they love is an extension of themselves, right? So look at it that way. It's like, if they're acting unlovable, like, please know that that's not because you're unlovable. It's because they don't love themselves, and you need to love yourself enough to keep moving. Okay? So death is asking us, like, okay, you know what? If it's not for me, and that's also, like, you guys asking your ancestors, because if you say to your ancestors, right, like, if this one's not for me, show me the signs, right? They will show you every way. But if they are for you, the universe will answer you that. Okay, so Illy, it truly feels like disconnect is what it is. So baby, I need you to keep moving, okay, little love? Because if he does love you and he does think about you, he'll come back, or he'll start. Because telepathy is a real thing. Right? When you get quiet, when you become unavailable, then they will start chasing you down through music, through movie references, through every which way possible. So it's like, if someone left, like, don't chase them. Like, we don't chase. I always tell people, I'm like, we don't chase dogs, we don't chase men, we don't chase kids, right? Because they'll come back when they want to come home and when they're tired. It's up to you, depend on whether you let them in or not, right? So that is the part. Like, stop chasing the attraction of other people, because when you invest in you, then the universe invests in you. Okay. Illy, are you still in, my little love? And we'll answer that. I do feel like there were works done on your life if you're still in, but please let me know. And, oh God. Okay. Yes. I don't normally go off the answers with the cards, but then sometimes I also look at it and I'm like, no, these are like the answers in the cards even. But okay, so yes, but I was feeling it before you. That's why I asked if you were still in, because it does feel like you've had workings on your life. We have Knight of Pentacles and Knight of Cups. So this was methodical, this was systemic, and this was someone that said that they loved you. And I speak from personal experience. It's the ones that say they love you the most and they're concerned for you that are doing the worst behind closed doors. If you need help with that little love, then message me, because I help work through, like, I've sent back so many different spells that they've sent at me. They've also sent straight demons towards me. So that's fun, because like I've had Lucifer show up, like, or at least the energetic embodiment, and I basically told it to fucking kick rocks. So if you want to know how to send those, yeah. So part of that's like the 2020. So there's a lot of things going on. That's because the whole system has been doing things behind the back with dirty hexwork hands, right? Like our whole government is a coven, right? And they do everything is set on ritual and energy harvesting. Yes, I have. And no, because I growl at them. I literally growl at demons, but I've also stood toe to toe with military docs and made them feel about this fucking tall. So if you think I'm scared of a demon or a man with a god complex, you're wrong, right? I have stood toe to toe with men that I knew wanted to kill me, that were going to kill me, and then I've seen them go on to kill other people. So, have I met the devil? Yes. Have I met a demon? Yes. Have I met real life demons? Yes. Have I also told them to pack it in and get all the way the fuck out? Yes. I've helped clients clear demons off of their life that the Catholic Church couldn't get rid of. So yes, but I think we need to adjust our reality on God, right? Because God is a woman. God is the creator, right? We say creation, and I'm not here to cause fights, but look at it this way, right? The only being that can truly create life on its own is a woman. So we have to reprogram the divine is, and women are the bridge to the spiritual realm, right? And that's why they do the disconnect between men and women. It's because if you can disconnect the men from the bridge, right, there's no one protecting the bridge, which is the feminine to the spiritual realm. You can destroy both parties and the children. So they intentionally sever that connection between male and female so that men can't hear the voice of God, which is woman, right? It's very icky messy. Okay, so, all the time. All the time. Everybody has diabetes. Like, if your gut tells you that they're lying, right? And you don't even, like, here's what I've learned with people. You do not even need to stand around and have them say, oh, I didn't mean that, or I didn't say that. If you can feel that they're lying, I'm a queen of swords, right? So I'm one of those, if I cut you off, it's because you handed me the scissors, because swords are knives. That's intimate. So you have to start realizing, and here's just a huge queen of swords advice, life tip, right? Because I'm a love them, and I've been known to be a love them and leave them, right? Like, I can love you for decades and be like, yeah. Well, that's because it's not a she, but she is all around you. She is in animals. She is in you. She is in me. She is in everything around us because she is the creator. Okay, baby, here's what I'm going to tell you. If you want to hear God, right? This is going to sound totally hippie woo-woo, but I'm going to tell you. God is when you go outside, because the earth is the heart, right? So in order to hear the heart, right, you must put your ear to the earth, and you'll hear God. You'll hear her breathe. You'll hear her heartbeat. And then you'll stop wondering, like, you'll stop wanting to be such an asshole to other people, and you'll start healing and regulating your nervous system. God is in you, babes. So believe it, see it, speak it, create it. You are the co-creator in your own life. You are allowed to say who's allowed in your life and who's not, right? You're allowed to say what principles, what habits, what things you want, and who isn't. This is the part when you start putting up boundaries with people, you're going to have to be like so fiercely protective of that. But here's what I've learned. Okay, we'll talk about that. Let me come back to that, because we'll talk about, it's not like a fluffy answer. Okay. And also, guys, if you're coming in, I do Akashic Record stuff, right? And there's also two different sets of Akashics. There's Earth planetary Akashics, and then there's cosmic Akashics, right? So a lot of time people come to me and we dredge up past lives because there are things in there that you're meant to be learning from. Okay? When we die, it depends on what you are willing to do here while you're here right now, and it depends on where you want to go next. Okay? So those are the questions you should be asking. Where do you, because if people don't do the right thing, and this is where Christianity and Catholicism and all the religions are trap, right? They all say, like, pray for forgiveness and this will be forgiven, like Jesus died on the cross. That's how they loop us into getting reincarnated. Because if you keep doing bad things, you have to come back, right? Because you owe debts to other people, akashically. So that's the part. Like, if you truly want to get out of the earth plane, we can do that. But you have to be willing to, otherwise, because you do get stuck in, like, because earth is either a school or a prison, right? And because humans couldn't play nice, we got kind of segregated, like, we got kind of pushed to the side in the cosmic realm until we could play nice. And then the challenge is that it didn't get cleaned up in time. So now they're coming, like, the beings are coming in to assist. If any of this makes sense, please let me know. But there's bigger things that are going on. So, like, when we do the right thing, if you believe in religion, and yeah, it's a whole box of stuff to talk about. But if you do the wrong thing, right, and you actually commit crimes, you will be coming back here to serve your sentences. Because when they talk about, like, life sentences, when you get and this is where people think, like, oh, it's not that deep, like, I'll just die, right? But if you die, then you incarnate the next life, you serve a sentence, right? So that's why I always tell people, I'm like, live a good life, be a good person, because if you don't want to come back, then don't do bad things. Because, like I say, people don't if they're actually criminals, like real criminals, right, doing bad things, it's the life sentence, or they'll reincarnate again to serve jail time or penance. So I don't know if that answered that, or if that gave you more questions, or if you have questions, please ask so we can refine that. Okay, so Knight of Pentacles and Knight of Cups, this is that whole making sure that you are doing the right thing, being stable, responsible. Because Knight of Pentacles is slow and steady progress, and Knight of Cups is like nourishing our emotional well-being. Okay. Okay, so unknown. Here's the part. You can do what you want, but it has to be, like, morally and ethically right. Right? Like, you can do what you want, but, and this is the challenge, right? We all have free will. We are not free of the consequence. So that's where it comes in. Because, okay, so I'm a Libra, right? We're all about the scales. They say Lucifer was a Libra because he came to bring light, right? So the thing with it is, it's like you can't bargain your way out of if you do the crime, there's no one else that's going to take the blame. And that even goes with, like, if you believe in dying and your sins being forgiven, like, no, Jesus isn't truly dying for your sins. It's every time you do a bad thing, you die for your sins. And if you do it long enough and hard enough, you will actually die. And then if you didn't learn the lesson, you'll come back. Okay? So that's like a tough love, because a lot of people, I am a mirror. So people come to me and I show them their shadows. And a lot of times people will yell at me and be like, you're such a bad person. I'm like, I'm not a bad person. I'm trying to help you grow and expand so you stop doing things that put you in bad situations, right? Like, so many people want to come in and talk about, like, third party stuff with me. I was like, how do you expect to build a happy life with someone when you built your premise of that off of someone else's tears? Like, you have to do the right thing. You can't cheat your way out of this. Here's another example. So I had a guy, and he was raised, like, he was Indian, and they were raised Christian. And he came to me pretty early on in my journey, and we were talking about marriages and spirituality, and I got to know a lot about his marriage, and I got to know about him, and he was doing naughty things in the spiritual realm. like trying to do love spells, and he was trying to, because he had a wife that was not originally from this country. Like he was born here, she was not. She came over, they had kids, like older kids, like 13 and I think like 8. He wanted to take the kids, ship his wife back to her home country, and then he was also trying to do love spells on another woman to get her interested so that when he switched her out, he would have someone in place. The challenge was he didn't do it the right way, because you can't do love spells. You can't violate and bend others' free will. You can for a very short amount of time, but there are consequences to that, because we all have free will, and you are not at discretion to violate others' free wills, right? So that's why, well, you can come book time with me. Please book time with me. I'm in such a financial dire crisis. Like, I need huge financial miracles. So if you know someone that just wants to give a lot of abundance away, or that can, please send them to me, because I'm like, when I say dire critical, like I need to find a huge financial solution by Friday. Otherwise, my animals and I lose our sanctuary. My kids have no safe place to come to when it gets really hard at their dad's house, and I need to provide this stable environment for my kids, because they're in an abusive situation that is on the verge of being violent towards them within their own home, by both mom and by stepmom and dad. And like yesterday I received really horrible news back to back, one about my kids and how it's actually causing physical harm, like to both of my children still in that situation, and then finding out that I'm supposed to be out of this house by Thursday. And I'm like, I need miracles. I need prayers. If you guys can please send me all of the positive energy, because I need actual freaking miracles so that I can provide this space to be able to talk to you guys about so many different things. Because I freaking would rather talk about like spiritual cleanse and how to protect ourselves and how to empower ourselves and become better versions than love stuff any day. Like, everybody wants to know, is that man in love with me? And I'm like, if he were in love with you, he's going to show you. Like, you wouldn't be questioning it. But if you are questioning it, please ask for better from yourself, right? Like, ask for the courage to have the partner that shows you out loud that they love you. Okay? Oof. And if they can't show you they love you in public, you don't want them to show you they love you behind closed doors. Right? I was married for a very long time. Nobody ever knew I had a husband. A lot of people were like, are you making him up? And I'm like, no, I wish I was. Like, I am doing this long-term marriage with a traveling spouse that leaves me to take care of everything, that everybody thinks I'm a single mom. Now, the separation, like, he turned into a real nightmare. There are some people that are kicked off, like, the vessel, where I'm like, you know what? If you want to be on this ship, you've got to earn your weight, because you've proven to me that you are not a cool person. 4 of Wands. We're going to be building our house. 4 of Wands is happiness. It's saying, okay, you know what? I'm going to get there. I'm going to build that foundation. So being brave enough to show up and build your foundation, even when you're scared, even when you're tired, even when you're hungry, build it. What makes you happy? Okay. Oh, man. Okay, so the Fool and 9 of Pentacles. This is taking that bold move and saying, you know what? I don't know what's out there, but I know what's in here because I can see the patterns. I'm going to go out on that new adventure and make that money. We wear our patterns of our parents, right? We wear the robes of our parents that were impoverished and then wonder why we can't ever be rich, right? So it's being brave enough to say, I'm going to do that new adventure and it's going to pay off. Sometimes so like, I look at it and go, yeah, it's either this or nothing. Like, sometimes you just have to say it has to work or not. Well, okay, so Cheryl, what came out with that is, yes, but it's the Justice card. So since you said real or fake, it says Justice and yes. So what it feels like, okay. All right, so we're going to answer, bear with me, Gianna. Okay, yes, you'll find real love, but you have to believe in it. You have to build it for yourself first. Love you so that you can teach others how to love you. And love you so that when others try to show you what love isn't, you can be like, no, 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 I'm cool, man. I can love myself better than anyone else can. Right? And that's something that I am incredibly proud of my daughters that they were allowed that opportunity. Right? Like, I started working at a very young age and I started having like raising kids because I helped raise my nieces and my nephew at a very young age. And then I was a single mom at 19. I didn't know how to love me. I didn't know how to value my time. I didn't know how to put my priorities first. And I will say this about, yeah, I would say it doesn't feel like, yeah, he may love you, but it feels like, and within 3 months, that's the other part. When they move really fast, that's because they want to get you into a binding thing before you wake up that he can't maintain that. Because 3 months is about when it starts to fall apart. And because they can't maintain the facade for very long. Right? So if you get to 3 months and you're already seeing red flags, I need you, whether he loves you or not. Because here's the thing. If you say because it's not just about saying it, it's how does he show up, right? Because action, especially men are men of action, right? Like, does he show you he loves you or considers you? And if he doesn't, then my friend, you need to keep moving. Yeah. So baby, if it feels like red flags, we don't even wait anymore. With justice, and I'm gonna say, so is this an online relationship? Or is it in person? Okay. So this is why this is coming through like this. Like, yes, he says he loves you, but it feels like, yes, he's catfishing. Except for with justice coming, because it feels like there's like an investigation or an investigator around you or this situation with justice. And that's why when it first came out and you said, is he love or is he fake? And it came out, yes, with justice. And I was bucking it because it felt weird, but what it truly feels like is that like he is catfishing or he's trying to scam, but it's like there's something bigger going on that's behind the scenes. So I would move with that however you move with that. Please don't ever give anyone anything. Please don't, share your personal details, like, especially online, and especially if you, like, me, and I'm huge on, because reading energy, right? Or voice, inflection, emotions. You can feel energy behind things without ever actually, like, so realizing, like, if it feels, okay, if it walks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, right? You have to presume it's a duck. So if it feels like a scam, I'm going to say, baby, please love you, and it's a scam. Okay? Take distance. This is the part. Start pulling back your energy and see how he responds, right? Because a lot of times if you start pulling back and if it's like they're trying to get energy off of you, whether it be money, time, whatever, right? When you start to pull back, they'll start to get more intense. And yet that's the part of it too. If it feels like it's like a tug of war, if it feels like it feels siphoning and draining, right? So love, I would run. Please. Don't get stuck in that, okay? Intuitively, it doesn't feel spectacular. Okay, Lizzie, no. And it's Ace of Swords in reverse. So whatever's going on with Brant, is it like an ego thing? Because it's Ace of Swords in reverse. Because Ace of Swords upright would be like, yeah, like you got, yeah. But because it's logic, right? It's discernment. Okay. But in reverse, it's saying like all logic and reason went out the window. Okay. And if it makes you feel out, because it almost, and I don't know if it's right or not. If it is, please let me know. It feels like are you like an earth sign? Like you're very solid, reasonable, responsible, and something about this maybe makes you feel like you throw logic out the window, but it feels reckless. Please let me know if that resonates. If it's true, let me know. I know the truth hurts sometimes, so if it's true and it resonates, please let me know too. It with what the energetics off of it feels like that. Like it doesn't add up on paper, and it would put you at detriment, right? So this is the other part, guys. If your intuition is telling you something and you don't listen, right? Like I tell people all the time, I'm like, your body's telling you to sit down. Your body's telling you to listen. Your body's telling you to shh, right? So if you don't listen to your intuition, then things will happen. And I've watched this happen with clients too, right? They weren't listening to their body, and then they got put in bed for a day because they were doing too much, right? So if your intuition or your body is sending you signs all over the place, you need to be listening to that. And this is a silly but prime example, right? Like I'm going to give a real life example. So I have money that I owe to my ex-husband, but he's done a lot of bad things behind the scenes, right? A lot of bad things. And while I know that like the opportunities have come up to pay him, intuitively, I've always not. And the most recent time, right? Because it happened again recently, like within 2 weeks. I was like, oh, I should probably take care of that debt. I don't love having any debts on my name at all. It pisses me off. I really don't. Like credit cards piss me off. The fact that I'm in so much debt because of all this situation with my family is very upsetting, because they ritualistically and did an organized like harassing and stalking of me to make me lose my mind, make me lose everything, right? And they use the legal and the judicial system to do this. So that being said, I was like, hey, maybe I should pay this guy. I want to get it off my docket. My debit card number got stolen. And I was just like, I just think about paying, and then something happens. So if that's one of those, if you don't sit down, if you don't pay attention, then the universe will show you, right, in the worst of ways. Because anybody experience the pain of having to replace a debit card or having fraudulent charges and having it locked and having to fix that, right? So I knew I should not even think about paying him, because he owes me lots and lots and lots and lots of money. My family does too, right? They've stolen a lot. And they've also filed a life insurance on me, even though I'm still alive, and collected on that. So they owe me, but I should have listened. So, okay, yeah, so that is what it feels like though, Lizzie. It feels as though you are very independent. You do have your life together, and something about it feels like it would like potentially disrupt. And I want you to determine what your peace, your center is, because I feel like your independence is very important to you, right? In determining, because I've started looking at it and like, you know what, your chaos is not important. Like you have to start realizing my peace is more important than your chaos. So if you come around someone and all it is just straight chaos, then you need to be like, oh, okay, you know what, this is not for me. Because then you'll find yourself down the road, you'll be like, oh God, why am I having to clean up this mess? Yeah. You do have to set boundaries, but it feels like whatever it is with that, it feels like does he follow boundaries? I don't feel like he does, and that's super important, right? And the challenge as well, like I didn't have boundaries because I didn't know how to. I wasn't trained with that. My family intentionally cross all my boundaries. Like they are in my electronics. They surveil me. They have the sheriff harass me. They have police. So like it's one of those, it does make you just lose your mind, because I put up boundaries, right? I said, I don't like the way you're treating me. I don't like this party. I'm going to leave. But when I left, they took that, even though I said, leave me alone, they took that as a direct invitation to, now that I'm out of the way, they can hide everything from me, right? And abuse me and isolate me and control me. That's the thing. I put up boundaries and I got isolated. And I got punished because they all like to do horrible things, but they use me as the scapegoat. And when I finally woke up and said, you know what, I don't want to do this anymore, then they amped up and they included a lot of people. That's the thing. All that my family and my ex has done is going to, because I say going to, because this is not going to be quiet, right? Because this is going on a public global scale. What's happening to me is happening to a lot of people. And that's the part, is that this is going to ruin so many lives, right? So many moms, so many dads, so many kids affected by the cruel actions of the few over the many, right? Because it took a lot of men, women, even children for them to control, contain, surveil, harass me in every way possible. My sanity, my stability, my money, my business, my love life, every part they have done. And like I say, they are in my electronics because I'll try to come up with a solution to fix my situation, and either it will fall apart because they'll have gone behind and ruined that for me, or they will be able to counter it, right? Like this is a prime example. I had a legal document that I was working with a friend that I was going to submit to my lawyer in the courts for consideration, and my concerns in it. And the very next day, my ex, somehow, without knowing anything about this document, anything about this conversation, anything about my life, because he was not anywhere near it, nor was he invited, address those concerns. But that's a eerie coincidence that's happened so many times. And yes, this is a real thing. Instead of institutionalizing you now, they will have men, women, children stalk you, right, and control you until you give up. Like, the goal for them, because like I say, this is a huge thing, and the corruption in every industry. And that's the other part, guys. Like, I've been in every industry, I've had friends in every industry, right? Medical, lawyers, every which way you can think of, right? And it's pervasive in everything. The realty, they all have people in these industries to help make your life an incredible type of hell, and their goal is to make you kill yourself, get locked up, or get committed. And a lot of people do. And that's the part, like, I've come to the point where it's like, there's no escape. There's, like, I'm about to be homeless, and then I'm even more at the discretion of people that want to torture and harass and stalk. Like, I've got the proof of, like, people harassing me, like my family harassing me and defending me, because the side of it that nobody else talks about, like, I'm the one that woke up and started talking about the abuse, about the PDF file, about the whole family is full of them, right? So somehow, some way, they convinced all these other people that I was the bad seed while they were the upright person, except for there's long documented history of this behavior. So I have people that have suffered at the hands of these abusive people defending the abusers and making my life hell. So this is that whole... I used to be a very independent person. I'll just go there. Okay. Anyway. Okay, Five of Wands. It's saying that chaos, that conflict can't be sustained, maintained. It's got to go. So Five of Wands is saying it's got to go. And Four of Pentacles, that financial lack, that that feeling like you are left out in the cold, the fighting over the same pentacle, right? And just being like, no more. Strength. Leo energy. And part of the battle is battling our own inner lion, right? That's what strength is about. It's not that we're trying to tame other monsters, it's we're trying to tame ourselves. So, strength. Okay. I might be about out for the day. We'll see. Okay. Chariot and Page of Wands. Family energy. Rapid motion. Rapid motion. I don't know why I'm pulling out as family energy. That's just what it... I mean, Cancer is family, but with the Page of Wands, it feels like there's family. I'm praying. So, Lizzie, if you can please send positive energy, healing my way, the right officials, or if you know the right officials that could potentially help in all this, please send them my way too. If you know anybody that just has nothing better to do than give away money, please send them my way, right? If you meet someone, please send them my way. I just need help, so much help, because it isn't just me. Like, okay, so here's the challenge, right? I speak about all this abuse is that my when I speak about children, like my daughters are still in that abuse, still deeply indoctrinated, and they still, while they don't, want to be there, that's also like they are held imprisoned in the court system, because the court system's corrupt, and they want kids in the system, right? They want messed up kids because messed up kids make money, right? So the whole system, like I say, doctors, lawyers, police officers, judges, realty, government, it's all interconnected, and it's all exploitation and trafficking. And I'm like a poster child for that, and I really, really, really need some help immediately, like today. So I'm just going to speak that into existence, that the right help and support will come to my doorstep today, because, hey, Public Enemy. Alright, guys. I'm going to hop out. Yeah. How's the storm doing? We're getting hit up here, but how's the storm? I'm just going to take from the top. I'm going to hop out because I'm in a very bad place. So, 7 of Wands. Stop this, and this is because I know your energetic vibration. Stop creating problems. Right? 7 is 7 is choices, and Wands is conflict. So stop creating the conflict in your life, man. Okay. I'm up out. I will talk to you later, guys.